Now, yesterday, during the show, we got word that Albuquerque businesswoman and philanthropist Gertrude Zachary had passed away after a long illness. So sad.
Right, but known for her passion for people, jewelry, antiques, and of course her castle, Gertrude Zachary will remain a legend. News 13 anchor Jessica Gadate has her story.
You can tell when somebody's wearing a Gertrude Zachary piece. It is so different.
The big stones, the bright stores, the billboards, antiques, and her downtown castle home. Gertrude Zachary caught everyone's attention.
If you met her, she is a very contagious person. She will make you dream big, you know, go for it, do it, wear it. It doesn't matter how big, the bigger the better.
Zachary moved to Albuquerque in the late 1960s, where she fell in love with Indian jewelry.
Gertrude, you know, was the first woman to have a breakthrough in Southwestern jewelry. She started, you know, 30 plus years ago just selling Indian jewelry out of a little location.
From that store on 2nd Street, the successful businesswoman went on to open this store on Lomas in 1991, and then this store in Nob Hill in 2006. Employees say Zachary would often work 7 days a week, making her creations.
What do you think? What do you think? Isn't this great? Isn't this scrumptious?
Zachary also sold antiques.
I go to Europe 2 or 3 times a year, used to, and then people come and say, look what I've got, and if I like it, I buy it.
That was Zachary in 2008, when she gave News 13 a tour of her 8,500 square foot downtown castle.
Because I love downtown. I've never had any problems down here, ever.
She also gave back to the community, including to a homeless shelter near her home.
Gertrude was involved in a lot of charities, but her favorite one that she just loved and adored was the Good Shepherd Center.
Stand by.
Yeah, big part of the community she was. Gertrude was 75 years old, and her family has not said yet what illness she died from.
I want to mention that when I first moved here, it was one of the first places I had heard about was the castle. And ironically, Go Red for Women was something that she really supported. It was at her castle that I actually went to the first meeting for the Heart Association, where I learned a lot about that. Yeah, so she was definitely an inspiration in a lot of ways. So condolences once again to her family and friends. But on another note, we want to congratulate Santa Fe 8th grader Alicia Stewart. Out of 400,000 kids, that's a lot of kids, she was selected as a semifinalist in the Lions Club's International Peace Poster Contest.
Right, this year's theme, there's a look at it. Wow, that is amazing.
Isn't that cool?
It was called Imagine Peace, and I can see that.
Oh,
this is Alicia's poster. That was the theme, Imagine Peace, and it looks like peace. The contest was open to 11 through 13-year-old kids from around the world, so she had some tough competition, but way to go, Alicia.
Right here in Santa Fe. Now, the grand prize winner will actually be announced at the United Nations in New York City, and the grand prize is $5,000. So how fantastic would that be if she won? But I love that poster. I think, like you said, it exemplifies imagining peace.
It does.
Good for you.
Okay, so Beyonce, she fessed up that she lip-synced during the presidential inauguration, but she's offended it. During a press conference yesterday, she says she did it because she's a perfectionist and she just didn't have time to practice with the orchestra for a live television show.
But she is promising to sing live during her halftime show at the Super Bowl this weekend, and I'm sure we are all relieved that this has finally been settled. I mean, to think it has been a lead story on the national news on every network this week, you know, you got to feel for her. I'm a singer. I know how hard there are nerves, and especially when you're out in the cold and you have millions of people watching and you're standing next to the president, you just want it to be perfect. So it was still her voice. She was still singing. It just so happened that she was singing to herself in that particular moment.
Well, I mean, and I heard there were some issues too with feedback, and you know, that can always be a problem too. So, you know, it's not like her voice is not in doubt, I'll have to say that, because she has a magnificent one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people make mistakes, it happens, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So.
All right, well, if you plan on attending a Super Bowl party, we have a few fun facts that you can throw out to impress your friends.
Yeah, this is good. Okay, at number 1, the term Super Bowl was not actually used, get this, until 1969. That was when the New York Jets played the Baltimore Colts. And they were Baltimore Colts then. And before then, it was called the AFLNFL World Championship Game. How do you like that? By the way, the AFL Jets did win that game. New York.
Right. So, yeah, Super Bowl way better than AFL, NFL.
Way better.
So, I like the name Super Bowl, and it's
Me
stuck.
too.
And at number 2, 1 out of every 12 people watching the game does it only to see the commercials. I can see that, and I bet you it's a lot of women that make up that statistic.
Oh, for sure. Now, you just saw the hot spices being tossed with those wings. Well, at number 3, the day after game day, antacid sales increased 20%. So that is a really big fact, is that you might need to go to the drugstore on Monday after all that food.
After all the junk food that you eat on Sunday, you might not agree with it too well.
Exactly. Well, if it's not the Super Bowl that you're watching this week, but you want to head out to the theaters, new to the big screen this weekend, zombies, witches, and action heroes.
Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Undead Teen Love invades your local theater this week in the PG-13 movie Warm Bodies, the latest offering in Hollywood's zombie comedy subgenre, which this time adds romance to the mix.
Be dead.
The film follows an unlikely hero named R who saves a girl from his fellow undead, then falls for her, a crush that could pump life back into their story.
Don't be creepy, don't be creepy.
Of course, they have to get past his human gal pal's no-holds-barred zombie killer dad first, played by John Malkovich.
I take out the trash.
Speaking of taking no prisoners, Sylvester Stallone is back doing what he does best, leading a big-screen action-packed thriller with Bullet to the Head.
I thought I smelled a cop.
This latest endeavor has Sly playing a New Orleans hitman who teams up with a DC cop to take down a common enemy.
So I kind of missed you. Missed you too. That just get weird? Yes.
Then Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, and Alan Arkin lead the indie film Stand Up Guys, about 3 con men who get back together for one last big night out and one final deadly job.
Finish this.
The star power for this one is also behind the scenes. Listen for Jon Bon Jovi's Golden Globe-nominated original song, Not Running Anymore.
My name is Gretel, and this is my brother Hansel.
The adventures don't end there. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters is still putting up a fight to hang on to its #1 spot at the box office.
I just want us to be friends.
Plus, moviegoers only have a little more than 3 weeks to catch up on the most buzzed-about films of the past year before those Oscar statues are handed out on the 24th. In New York, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
I want to see Stand Up Guys, and I want to hear John Bon Jovi sing his song.
Well, if you can't see it this weekend, it'll be around for a while.
Yeah, and I still do highly recommend seeing Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay,
Try to check it out.
Well, coming up next on New Mexico Style, where you can learn life-saving first aid for your pet.